Give me the "Hey, I'm so-and-so" intro, and then whatever.
That's what I'm gonna give. You're gonna give me.
You're gonna give me
the intro. Okay. Hey, Jeremy. I'm Kevin Brittingham from Q. This is the fix. It's Changes bolt action rifles. You know, when we started the company, we wanted to do a bolt gun. It was a place in the market where for about 135 years it seems like nothing's been done. So we've got a great group of engineers and guys with a lot of combat experience, guys from the AMU, the whole world record, stuff like that work for us. We all sat down, it only took about an hour, and we came up with what we wanted the gun to be. And in 6 months we were shooting it. So one thing you've seen happen with the Mauser type action is you see the chassis come along the last decade. You know, exciting thing about this, we love the Accuracy International AX chassis. This gun with a 16-inch barrel and 308 full-length handguard weighs the same as the Accuracy International chassis. We did it really by avoiding the chassis. We did a unibody design. Upper and lower is one piece. That does several things for us. It makes it compact, lightweight, but it helps with the accuracy and the rigidity. The movement, if you can't shoot that well, you may never know, but the movement between an upper and a lower in your AR affects the dispersion in your groups. We did that. We have pistol engineers involved, and you can see a lot of that influence. We have rails on the lower with the bolt shroud, so it's a whole lot like a pistol. We moved the sear from which is traditionally the trigger pack on a Remington in the bottom. We moved it like a pistol to the slider to the bolt, where it's with the striker, so we can control that tolerance. And what that means to the consumer is you get a consistent, lightweight, safe, super crisp 2-pound production trigger that is most importantly safe. The gun passes drop test with us doing that. We can hold the tolerance with the sear and the striker now, where we couldn't do it if you put the sear in the bottom part of a gun that's not connected to the striker. 45-degree bolt throw, so it's the shortest in the industry. So it's super fast. It's about the closest thing you'll get to a straight pull. The one-piece receiver we call the unibody. The stock assembly attaches to the rear, and it's a folding stock. So now with a 16-inch 308, we're shorter than the Mark, what is that? The Mark 18, the short little SOCOM Navy SEAL 5.56 AR. So we're that short. So if you want to store it, if you need to sling it and climb a tree to hunt, if you're in a box blind, whatever you're doing, you get precision sniper stock, you get adjustable cheek, length of pull, the butt, everything on it's adjustable. The gun comes in with a 16-inch 308 full-length handguard right at 6 pounds. The handguard also just attaches directly to the receiver. You have a pinch, and then this pulls it in. The top full-length rail bolts to it for additional rigidity, so we're able to make it small and thin and light and be very stiff. Doesn't flex. You remove those, you can pull the handguard off. The barrel nut is similar to like an AR castle nut. There's no special tools required. You can pop it on the bench, take the barrel out at a user level in a couple minutes, and so you can go from a 16-inch 308 to a 22-inch 6.5 Creedmoor 260 300 short mag, anything that fits into the SR25 mag. So use Knight's armament. The mag pull mags are nice. What else about it? We have our own accessory mounting system that we got from the Remington PSR program that Robbie and I worked on in the past. The pull for each one of these points is about 600 pounds. We feel that it's the best way to do it. It's the most tested, most proven way, and that's what we went with on this gun. What else is special about the gun? The only two parts that we didn't design takes AR pistol grip with no tang or whatever you call that backstrap thing, and then it takes AR selectors. You can do a 45 or a 90. This is, I think, Radiant Arms is the name. It's nice because it's ambi and it doesn't use screws. It's a dovetail, which is a pretty slick design. We were all in agreement on that. All AR ergonomics, which is so important. You know, the AR is the most ergonomic rifle there is, and we wanted that in a bolt gun. We wanted to bridge the gap, and we think we did it. You know, the gun is smaller and lighter than a 16-inch AR. You know, an interesting thing a guy brought up on our Instagram the other day is like, well, if you use SR25 mag and you do a 260, you can't load, you know, the long bullets in the right position, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. So that costs you 40 feet per second or something. Well, this gun is ultra compact, lightweight. It's a shorter overall design, including the receiver. You can add 4 inches to the barrel and still be the same and get that back. You know, this isn't maybe a solution for every bench rest guy in the world, but for the military, for the average hunter, the first production precision gun, guys shooting PSR, this solves 90% of the problems, and that's why it's called the Fix.
When is it expected?
The end of Q2, beginning of Q3 this year. MSRP is under $3,000, so I think $2,750, $2,795 for the 16-inch gun, 2 mags, full-length handguard, full-length top rail. There's a short rail piece that for guys that don't want that, then you can have individual sections if you wanted to mount some inline night vision. And there's also a direct scope mount where you don't use a 1913 at all. So if you want the lightest, most compact thing there is with, you know, the least amount of tolerance stack up. You know, we designed it from the beginning to be affordable. You know, we were thinking Oakley sunglasses or Yeti coolers. We want it to be, I mean, you know, it's the working man's like aspirational rifle. You know, you can't buy a $6,000 gun that'll outshoot this, but yet you get something that's half the weight of the Ruger RSRP, whatever their gun's called, which is a great concept. But again, that gun, like all the chassis guns, are taking the traditional Mauser action and putting it in a chassis that makes it big and bulky and heavy. And we went away from it. I mean, to me, this is gun of the decade. I'm so excited. This is the foundation of our new company.
Is it going to be direct from you only, or will it be in shots?
We'll see how it goes. You know, we're at SHOT Show, so we're having those meetings starting tomorrow. I mean, I think, you know, my goals, which they've always been, and I've made mistakes in the past, whether it be Advanced Armament or SIG, but, you know, my goal is the customer and my employees. And if there's a distributor that can, you know, help us to fulfill that to me in a way that best supports those two things, then I'm all for it. If it needs to be direct, then that's what it'll be. I think we're going to ramp responsibly. You know, I don't want to cut corners in production. You know, things about this gun, whether it is the bolt assembly, the striker assembly, the receiver, you know, we thought about having engineers involved from the beginning and the users. We thought about fixturing. How are we going to fixture to do assembly of the gun? What's going to be the best way to do these things? You know, we'll probably produce somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 guns this year and ramp from there. But I'm in no hurry to sell. You know, if we only get 1,000 guns out this year, that's what we get out. We're not going to cut corners. This gun's going to be successful. It's the Remington 700 for the next generation. And, you know, the money's going to come, but we're gonna do it correctly. You know, I don't want to have the situation that Remington had a couple years ago with their trigger and spend $28 million getting guns back and trying to fix them. So we're going to try to send them out right the first time.
I will edit that part out.
You can do whatever you want. I'm not afraid of them. I beat them once.
Thanks for walking us through the rifle.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you.